We want to go into just all the programs. We're going to pretty much just inform you guys what's the best deals to take at certain times. What would you say right now is our hottest product?
By far, the HELOC Express is the hottest one out there right now, because not everybody knows about it. I think the HELOC Express is the one that's starting the wave right now. So
Yeah.
that's the one to go with. Every year they have new programs. Every year it's a cycle. So
Yeah.
right now it's the HELOC Express, and then we're going to have a lot of competition pretty soon, and then it's going to die down, and it's going to be something else. There's always something coming up.
Usually, people don't like to sell HELOCs or offer HELOCs to people because as a licensed loan officer, I guess you don't really make that much money.
Yeah.
But we're pushing them very heavy right now. And has this, for as long as you've been doing this, would you say that this particular time HELOCs are being pushed more than ever?
Definitely more than ever, just because a lot of people still have their rates from COVID, and even before COVID, for the past 10 years, rates have been they were low, and then after 2022, they skyrocketed. So people don't want to refinance, but if they could get a HELOC, if they could get a second position, tap into their equity, and they don't have to touch that 3% rate, that 4% rate, they're definitely going to do it, because even though licensed mortgage loan officers, they don't usually like to do HELOCs, but at this point it's a volume play because people want to take the deal. And these HELOC Expresses, investment properties, they close in 2 days. Primary is 5 days. If you're speaking to an investor, talk about a HELOC, it turns into a DSCR loan, fix and flip loan. You find out they have 5 properties, so now you have several deals just from one person. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this HELOC program, it's opening a lot of doors for other deals to develop.
No one wants to touch their rate. So if you say, hey, listen, want to try to get, do you say, hey, listen, do you want to do something in real estate, or do you go right in and say, hey, listen, we have a great HELOC program? How do you break the ice and initiate the conversation?
Sometimes I speak to a client, I ask them, hey, are you looking to pull equity out of your property? Tell me if you have a first position, so a first mortgage. Most of these people do have a first mortgage. So then as long as there's equity, I let them know, hey, we could get you a second position. We don't have to touch that first position. You don't have to refi, no appraisal, no title fees. It's quick. So even though for a HELOC, the rate's going to be a little higher than the traditional rate. And I tell them that right away, the rate may be a little higher, but you're not paying a bunch of closing costs. You're not paying 10, 15, 20,000 in closing costs. You don't have to pay for an appraisal. There's no escrow. You're not dealing with all of the extra costs. So even if the rate's a little higher, it's still cost effective and you get the money fast. HELOCs close really quick. Anyone with credit card debt, 19, 20%, they'll take a HELOC 9%, pay everything off. Or someone needs money for a down payment on a house, they're a real estate investor, they'll take a HELOC at 8, 9% in a second. They're going to get a return on their investment.
What are some of the purposes for why people are taking the HELOC Express? Because I know that there's rules and regulations as to what they can actually use the money for. But what is it that they should be taking this money and using this money for?
It's a business purpose loan.
Okay.
Right. So it's either you're going to invest in a business, open a business, or you're going to buy more investment properties. It has to be business related loan. It's not consumer debt. Right.
Yeah.
So you cannot pay off your credit cards. You cannot pay anything personal, anything that reports into your credit.
Gotcha.
It's a business purpose loan, this HELOC Express. We have access to other programs that they're more traditional, but the Express one, the ones that we're talking about that close fast, that one is a business purpose loan.
The reason why you would take a HELOC is if you need money fairly quickly for a business purpose, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So now let's jump into just business loans, term loans, lines of credit. In a scenario where anyone wants to go to the bank and get a traditional bank rate, traditional bank term, which is anywhere from 3 to 7 years. We even have some programs that you can go out 10 years. The reason why people would actually prefer a business loan over, let's just say, like an MCA, is if they need long sustaining capital. If you need money for inventory, an MCA is what you should take, okay? Because you can flip that money quick, prepayment discount, you can pay it off, fairly quick. I would say why you would take a term loan is if someone wants to make like a major purpose, and the return on the investment is not really going to be immediate. The majority of banks, and I know the SBA 100%, they're not paying off MCAs. And when people say that they have business debt, usually there's some MCAs. Yeah. There's some MCAs in there. Mm-hmm. So can't even really say debt consolidation. I mean, listen, just like Joe kind of said before, you could take a bank loan if you want to kind of consolidate some of your credit card debt. I see bank rates. Bank rates really aren't even single digits right now for what people want to borrow. Usually it's going to be prime +3. I think prime is like 8 or like 7.25, something like that. So you figure you're going to be getting your rates for the bank loans going to be anywhere from like 10 to like 19.99%. So if you have credit card debt, that's like 25%.
Yeah, comparable.
So yeah, it makes it like a bank loan going ahead and taking that out. That makes a whole lot of sense.
And it's a lot more docs on the bank loans. You're going to have 6 months of statements, a debt schedule, a P&L, year to date, 2 years of personal and business taxes. It's like a full file.
Great credit score, low utilization. It's a lot. It's a lot to qualify. That's why the MCA industry is thriving always, right?
Yeah.
And even the bank fees, banks will charge like 10% to get the deal done, 8, 10, sometimes 15%. So
yeah. And you know what it is too? See, the MCA doesn't report on your personal credit. So if you have payment issues or something like that, you can go ahead and work. The lender will work with you. They want to get paid just very bad because, again, this is all unsecured. You could just walk away, file, and they're going to file judgments on you and stuff like that. But, it's no real ramification on your personal credit. You start missing some of these payments with the banks, they're gonna ding you, whether they ding your business or whether they ding you personally. In some cases, this stuff is going to report somewhere. Whereas the MCA industry, I mean, listen, it is the wild west. And when we say unsecured capital, I mean that's really what it is. They're gonna blow your phone up. They're gonna file judgments. Probably not gonna be able to take any more MCAs for quite a while. But it's no real ramifications for if you go ahead and go bad on an MCA. They would rather you lower payments and slow pay them than to just, not get anything from you, at all, ever again. It takes so much to qualify for a bank loan, and then you could be midway through the process, and all of a sudden your credit could just go down substantially. Bang, you don't qualify anymore.
Yeah. Your credit will go down because if your business need capital, these term loans, they take a month, 2 months to close.
Yeah.
Usually when you don't have like a P&L that you forecasting, I need money there and then, right? So it's kind of like slow down a little bit sales and like, I need money.
Yeah.
Either you're going to go to an MCA or you're going to use your credit card, personal credit card if you have the money available. Then you swipe the personal credit card. So your utilization go high, your credit score go low, and then you're trapped. Yep. Because if you try to go to the bank is never going to approve you. Because your credit score took a
and then you need the cash to get your utilization down. And then you get to the MCA,
and then it's a snowball.
And then,
so the best time to qualify for a bank loan is when you don't need it.
Yeah.
Because they're going to approve you either for a line of credit or good credit cards.
Yeah.
And you use whenever you need it if you need it. Because when you need money, the banks are not going to be there for you.
When we say business loan, we're speaking straight traditional financing, not MCAs, because an MCA is not a loan. I know you guys will always hear Jose say it. It's a purchase of future receivables. Okay, it's not a loan. So when we speak business loans, we're speaking literally just a term loan. We're speaking literally a business line of credit, traditional through the bank, and we're speaking about an SBA. And a lot of reason why people take SBAs is because it's a long term. It's 10 years. It's a 10-year term, and it gives people a lot of breathing room because the payment is so small. The thing is that people really run through the SBA money within like the first. I'm telling you, I'll give them grace and say 6 months, but reality is a lot of people go through the SBA money in the first 3 months. Now they're paying for something that just think about 10 years ago. 10 years ago was 2016, right? Just think about how much stuff that you guys have done since 2016. 10 years ago, none of us had, just think about how much of your life has changed since then. These people are spending money. They're spending all the SBA money in the first 3 months and paying for it for 10 years, and in some cases trying to even refinance an SBA is tough. Like, because again, you have to have all your ducks in a row. Why do you need the money now? And again, people take a lot of MCAs after SBAs because they need more money. Yep. And SBA is not there. It's so tough to get approved. It's rare that you'll see people with two or more SBAs.
Yep.
Now you can get 2 or more SBAs. An SBA will fund any business up to $5 million, but that's where you're capped at. You cannot go over $5 million in funding for an SBA, but they're very conservative with the dollar amounts.
People have such great expectations with SBA, but it takes a long time. It's government-backed loans.
Yeah,
and you really don't know what you're gonna get.
The SBA was a tool for people to go ahead and pay off really their MCAs and stretch them out for 10 years. That's what everybody wants. They want to turn this 6-month payment into a 10-year payment. Once the SBA announced that they no longer were paying off MCAs, I'm telling you, they started seeing their submissions go down astronomically.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants, because the process is so grueling, and now they can't even pay off the MCAs with that. No one's really doing it. So I know that the SBA has recently lowered their qualifications. Now I believe, Lucas, you can get an SBA with as low as 600 now, right?
600 and no E-Tran.
And they got rid of the E-Tran. So they're trying to do what they can to make it easier to qualify, because the main use is gone now. People wanted the SBA to pay off the MCAs. No longer are they doing it. So now they lowered the qualifications. Dude, if we were able to pay off MCAs back, you're like with this new no E-Tran and lower to 600, we would have been pushing our SBAs like hotcakes. You know what I mean? But can't pay off MCAs
the problem is that you need the money. That's why you're applying. Do you need the money now, next week, 2 weeks from now, or maybe 3 months from now? Yeah. That's the question.
That's really it.
Right? And then you take an MCA, you're done. They're going to see that schedule like, hey, you have an MCA.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yep. Every month you have to update your financials as well. So your year-to-date P&L and balance sheet. And if they start to see that you're not really as profitable, or they will just kill the deal. So going back to why people would, take an SBA, I think that the majority of the reason now why people take SBAs is something substantial, like they want to open up another location, or they want to purchase an existing business from somebody. You go ahead and you get an SBA 7A acquisition loan.
Because you don't want to mess up your cash flow.
Yes.
Right? Like, hey, I need to make a purchase, but if I go into my income or my cash flow, it's gonna mess up my business. So I'm gonna do this outside, and that's like you're prepared to take that loan. It's not like you're trying to survive and keep going.
Yeah. All your ducks are in a row. You managing your credit well. You managing your finances well. Your business finances looks amazing, which is why you're even comfortable enough to even go for the SBA. And then you have nothing but time because you're not desperate for the money. Yep. Yeah. That's the reason why you would take an SBA loan, in my opinion. You guys foresee any other reason why people would go ahead and take an SBA? I really don't think so. Not
anymore. Yeah, because before they were paying MCA, so you could take the MCA and prepare for the SBA. Now you can't. So it's either if you're taking the SBA it's because you're making a purchase and it's going to be a bigger thing for you.
Let's jump into business credit cards, because I know we haven't really discussed business credit cards as much, because that's just not the hottest product right now. So that's not even something that we're super pushing. We still get a couple done. We still get at least like 10 a month done. But at one point we were doing like 50, 60 business credit cards.
It's like the main business credit cards from traditional banks. Yeah. So
that's what. Yeah, and again, because business credit cards are 0% interest for the first 12 months, and you can get it done even with like a fairly new business, right, Lucas? Like you could be in business for 1 month and get a business credit card, right?
Correct. Now they're mostly relationship driven, so you have to open up a bank account with them, have some money, have some movement, and then get a business credit card. Now, if your business has been established for a couple of years, of course, you're going to get a bigger approval because you have established business. If it is a startup or a newer business, they're really going to look into it and going to give you a smaller approval, and then you're going to go increasing after, like every 3 months or so, you can request for an increase, but they're not giving those limits that they used to give.
No.
I think people kind of scheme a little bit.
When we started really pushing for the business credit cards, it was no income documentation was needed to go ahead and get approved for. But then they started asking for docs, right, Lucas? They started really cracking down because of all the defaults, right?
Correct.
Didn't a couple of your clients even have to go into locations and open up accounts?
Yeah,
and stuff like
they
that?
had to go into the banks in person. They started asking for 4506Ts, like the proof of their tax returns. So before we just send like an Experian report, pretty much, and then the people will get approved.
Can you imagine people are making fake tax returns to provide to the bank because there is no way for them to verify unless if they have that approved and they check themselves with the IRS in your behalf.
Fraud.
So They did some schemy things.
Yeah. Naturally, when you go from a product where we're saying no income docs needed to now all of a sudden people have to go into the bank.
Everything. Give me every document you have, and then go create a new account, put 2,000 in there. Some banks, they want you to have 2,000, 5,000 in the bank account, have it open for a couple weeks or a month. So it's a lot more complicated.
It just turned into a more grueling process. And by the time that we would get some people's applications, they already had like 2 or 3 business credit cards, and they were going to the places before us that give like the higher limits. So now we come back, we're like, we'll probably get you like another $5K. Well, I mean, at that point, just take an MCA. Like at that point, like who really needs $5K? I don't care if it's interest free or not. If I could go and get a $50,000 MCA and pay it off in like 6 months and get more, So at that point, business at that point, we're at right now, business credit cards is definitely not our hottest product. Where I would recommend anyone get a business credit card is if it's a new business or it's a startup. But no, even that, I mean, if they're a startup, if they have property, we're gonna go HELOC Express all day over a business credit card for a startup. That's what I would recommend anybody for. So guys, if you have people out there that are just starting up a business, or that or they need some extra capital to get their business, boosted off the ground, and they have some property, HELOC Express is definitely the way to go. And we do all 50 states. Now, this is a product that we really don't talk about. We really don't push it because we rarely come through scenarios in which people want it. But personal loans. Personal loans, I mean, it's very self-explanatory. It's personal. You have to have a 650 credit score, and your overall credit utilization has to be 50% or less. The only time that people really will accept a personal loan or even go for it is if literally they don't qualify for bank funding, or they defaulted on an MCA and they don't have property. Usually.
And if they don't have business income too, some people don't have business.
Yeah, they're
income.
startup.
Startup. Yeah. So what people used to do before there was like great startup programs is they used to use personal loans to start their business, or to go ahead, like they use it to self-fund their business. You have a great W-2 job. You're making like $75,000 a year, and you just don't want to do it anymore. Like, you're tired of having a 9 to 5. You're tired of having the boss. Well, those people take personal loans.
Yep.
They get a lump sum of money, and now they want to go ahead and get a food truck. They want to go ahead and invest in retail. They want to go ahead and get materials to start printing shirts and stuff like that. So that's what people would traditionally start using personal loans for. The thing is that people default. And now this is all in your personal credit. So that's why people like to take business loans and keep stuff just on their business, because usually people are fugazi and they know that they're gonna have problems, and they know they're gonna default and stuff. Or even they don't want things to go against them personally. Go ahead, Joe.
Even just like not having those high limits, like we've given 50K business cards to people, and it's not on their personal credit report because it's in the business name. So if someone looks at that credit report, let's say that person goes to get a FHA loan, there's not now a $40,000 balance with whatever bank because it's a business loan. So.
Yes. And Lucas, correct me if I'm wrong, but business loan, because it does show up on your personal credit report, does that affect your DTI?
If it shows in your credit report, everything affects the DTI.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
If it shows on it, doesn't matter if the business is paying the debt or whatever it is, your sugar daddy, whoever's paying it, doesn't matter. If it shows in your credit report, it belongs to you and it goes in your DTI. Because if in case of not payment, they're gonna go after you. So on the financial industry, I've been on it for a couple of years, maybe 8 or 10 years. There's always a new program, and the program right now, it's the HELOC Express. So focus on it, all your efforts into it. Even if you're doing business loans right now, move it to HELOC Express. Trust me, because this one, it's really easy, a lot simpler to close, fast money, and very rewarding as well. And then you're going to go back to the business loans once everybody jumps on the HELOC, because everybody's going to jump on the HELOC. So focus on the HELOC right now and then jump back into the business loans.
Strike while the iron's hot. I like that.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully this episode was very informative for you guys. I know it's a bit of a change of pace. Some of you newer people that are here, we like to talk about what's hot, what's making everybody money the quickest. The last couple of episodes have been just really about MCAs, because I mean, that's always a product that's going to get you paid the quickest. However, this HELOC Express program is definitely here. I think it's going to be here for a while, and that's definitely the exit strategy for a lot of these people that have MCAs. So you load them up with MCAs, get them a HELOC, have them pay the MCAs off, go right back in with more MCAs if they need it. That's really the gambit we could run right now, and that's something that can get you paid. I mean, that's something that almost get you paid like 4 to 5 times a month on just one client. You get them 3 MCAs, go ahead and get them a HELOC to clean them all up, go back in and get them another big MCA. Now that they've paid off MCAs, they show that they can handle the payments. And now people see that they have property. So even if we go ahead, we get them a HELOC. I mean, we have other programs to go ahead and take them out of the MCAs. But the best one right now and the best bang for your buck and something that could close the quickest is definitely the HELOC Express. But yeah, so. Hopefully you guys have learned, and just a couple of things to take away. You're going to really use a HELOC when you have home equity and you need flexible capital for productive purposes, for productive business purposes. Again, HELOC Express program is for business purposes only, not anything that you are doing personally, and nothing with the home like renovations and stuff like that. The HELOC Express program, ladies and gentlemen, remember this specifically. You have to tell your clients this. It's for business purposes only. It's business purposes only. Don't forget that. A business loan, to take away, like we said, long term, but a business loan is not really for just to use inventory or something like that. If you're gonna go for something that's a 10-year term, make sure that it's something like you acquiring another location. Make sure that it's something like you're acquiring a business. It's not really for startup, and it's not really for something if you're trying to regain your cash flow. Business credit cards. The takeaway from business credit cards, ladies and gentlemen, is business credit cards is something that we can get done in 2 to 3 weeks. Again, business credit cards is not really the hottest product right now, but it's really for startups. It's not really for long term like sustainability. That's really gonna be for something that you would use for a business loan. Personal loan, again, personal loan is really if you don't have any business revenue, or if you need a little capital injection to start up a business. That's really when you're gonna use a personal loan, or if you're gonna go ahead and try to consolidate some credit card debt. Other than that, you already know MCAs is always the way to go. It's gonna get you paid. It's gonna get you paid the quickest, and it's not gonna be something that's gonna report on your personal credit. And it's an MCA really can use it for like a rainy day fund. If you need money for payroll or something tomorrow, MCA is the way to go. You guys heard it here first. You guys didn't hear it here last. Peace.
Deuces.